G'day everyone and welcome to another video in my portfolio. Today we're going to be looking at an election calculator that I've made. In particular, this one is for the Hare-Clark voting method. So if you're not familiar with it, I'll give a quick overview. It is a preferential voting method. So let's say you have 10 candidates, but instead of just running for one seat, you might have 3 seats available. And so what they do is they create quotas. And so as soon as someone's met the quota, they're elected, but then their votes get redistributed as well. But if you run out of votes and no one else has met the quota yet, the person with the lowest number of votes gets eliminated, and you have this voting happening, recalculation happening in multiple rounds in order for multiple candidates to have met the quota and win the election. So let's have a look at the data that we're working with today. I've just created this really simple data. It's in a CSV file, and we've named our candidates at the top, A, B, C, D, E, F, and each of the rows underneath represents a ballot that somebody has filled out as a voter. So for example, someone might have voted Edgar number 1, number 2 for Becca, 3 for Cameron, 4 for Fiona, 5 for Adam, and 6 for Daisy. And so that might be a ballot. And so what we're doing today is running a script, Python script with VS Code I used as an editor. So we're just going to hit run and debug. And I'm going to provide a couple of situations because we need to know how many seats are available in this election. And so we're going to start with 2. And you can see I've provided as much print functions in this, so the user who's using this script knows what's happening throughout the calculation. Keep a little bit of transparency in the process. So we've got the input of 2 seats. It's repeating that back, and it's saying there are 6 candidates available. Now I wanted to make sure that it would only enter integer responses. I didn't want random strings to complicate the process, so we've got that feature as well. So again, we've got 2 seats, and the quota that it's calculating is 5.33 repeater out of the 13 ballots that we have. In round 1, we can see that Adam has got 8 number 1 votes, and so he's met the quota, and so he's going to be filling up a seat, and his votes are going to get redistributed. Now in the Hare-Clark model, the votes are redistributed not 1-to-1. There's a transfer value based on how much he met the quota by, and so in this case he met the quota by about roughly 2.5 votes, and so that 2.5 points of value are going to be transferred over each of the 8 votes he got. And so in this case you'll see that we've got these decimal points appearing as those votes are being transferred. And in this case you can see that Edgar just missed out in meeting that quota, and so we're now going to eliminate a few candidates with the least number of votes. So we've got Cameron, Daisy, and Fiona there, who are all going to be eliminated, and their votes are going to be redistributed, but because they had no votes, we're going to have to eliminate another candidate in the next round, which is going to be Becca. So her 2.333 votes are going to get redistributed, and they're obviously going to go to Edgar because there isn't any other candidates left. And so we've got the winners, Adam and Edgar. Let's run this again, but this time with 3 seats available. And you can see we've got Adam winning round 1. And you'll notice that the quota is different. It's only 4.25 this time. We've got Edgar meeting the next round. And then we've got Becca after redistribution meeting that. And so we've got Adam, Edgar, and Becca. Let's do one more just for the sake of it. 4 seats available in this election, and so the quota was only 3.6. Adam meets it, Becca meets it after in redistribution of Adam's votes, and you can see because she only met it by the finest of margin, when her votes get redistributed you're going to have various tiny fractions there as well. That would be really hard to do by hand, but good thing we've got computers these days. And so in round 3, nobody's meeting the quota of 3.6. Now this is going to be interesting because once we eliminate Daisy, she also has 0 votes, so we're left with Cameron and Fiona. And so we're going to have to eliminate Cameron, and it's like, who's left? It's just Fiona left, and there's still one seat, one candidate remaining, one seat available. And so after it does one more calculation, it's gonna just give that seat to Fiona, because she's the only remaining candidate left, and we need to fill the seats. And so we've got Adam, Edgar, Beck, and Fiona. This is quite an interesting method of counting elections. So if you're really interested in this, there's a bunch of videos on YouTube, and like I said, I've linked a one-pager in my portfolio as well. So thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you next time.